okay, buddy?
He's still moving. He's fine.
He's fine.
It's barely an injury.
You know, his main problem is that his leg is just... His main problem is that his leg is just way too delicious.
Yeah, seriously. Ooh, we can gear it up. Let's see. Bow upgrades are not super awesome at the beginning, but the pistol upgrades are pretty
you wouldn't know it from the way the game treats the bow. This game loves the bow so much. It has the Max Payne problem, where Max Payne just thinks you should be using the pistol, and if you're not using the pistol, you're playing the game wrong. So every time you get in a cutscene, it immediately equips the bow. And then it's like you exit the cutscene. I'm like, the bow? Why am I using? This is the wrong weapon for this context. I find it really annoying.
See, there's never a wrong context for the bow.
There is a very, very wrong context for the bow coming up in a later part of the game.
Yeah, chicken!
Where the bow was the worst possible weapon for where Laura finds herself facing a mass of guys standing together, and it's like, hey, shotgun time, hey, assault rifle time, just fire into the crowd. But no, she gets out the bow, and then well, I'm sure you can imagine how this goes.
Kamakura period.
How can you tell
does
this is
not result in
Kamakura
victory.
period?
Is all this part of Yamatai?
So I didn't have this problem the first time I was playing through the game, but now I see all these fucking rope attachment points, and I'm like, man, I wish I could grab onto those.
I had the same problem. Also, those wood walls. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I don't have the shotgun yet. Because, you know, Metroidvania 2.0, it's like, once you know that that's a later kind of door that you can open, then you want to open it.
But I actually never had any problem with the bow. You know, I thought most of the bows in the Year of the Bow were pretty awful. Like, what the fuck? I hated the bow. Why is everything falling up?
Just
you know,
every
like
game,
all
it's
the
like
video
Far
games.
Cry, Crisis.
Oh,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I
everybody
hated the
puts that
bow
sort of
in
thing.
Far Cry 3, for example. But I thought the bow in this game was pretty good. I thought it worked out
It was
pretty well.
fine. It was fine. It's just annoying to have the game keep switching you away from what you were using. It's like, you know, I'm having a good time with the assault rifle right now, just trying to change things up, and it's like, no, use the bow. Stop that. Use the bow.
This game has some weird collectibles, you guys. I'm doing the egg poacher now. You gotta find the eggs, and you gotta steal them, and I guess like they disappear forever.
You don't need to see to your shattered femur there. You're just gonna walk that off.
I need to get up there. Nah, that's
So what
okay.
part of her archaeology degree benefits from stealing the eggs of eagles for no reason?
That is an interesting question. Is she just like really hate PETA and she's doing this to piss them off? I mean, what possible motivation is there for raiding an eagle's nest of all things?
Do we not
Here's my
have
dissertation, and she just throws eggs at the professor.
Are we
You
not
gotta
able
use the-
to?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
No,
is
you
it's
have
not
to
letting
get
me.
the real one. You have to get the real one first.
Oh,
There's a
that's
whole
right, it's
tutorial
after
about how you can
this.
climb this.
Yeah, that's after. We gotta get up there to the wolf den and get the
You have to
thing.
do this the hard way. You have to do this by climbing up on all the roofs and roofs and...
Probably shouldn't have
Well,
dropped down here then.
roofs.
I'm glad we came in here with no preparation and none of us has any idea what we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, I know what you're supposed to be doing. You have to go up on the roof or roofs, but we haven't decided how to pluralize that yet.
Well, first we murdered Rutskar,
Roofles.
and then we decided that, whatever, we know what we're doing.
So you go up there, you gotta...
Yeah.
Although I guess saying go up there while you're 4 seconds ahead of me is not particularly helpful.
I know where you want me to go. Okay, so do we?
Yeah, I know where.
Do we climb
you know where
the
I want you to go.
B25 again, or is it?
I.
Oh no,
you
it's
get up here
this.
and then you go across the rope.
me grab onto
There should be a rope that you walk across, or a shimmy across, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's right there. I guess I'll get on the roof.
There's a thing you can do to get to a place. That is what I remember about this mission.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. I remember it was like there was some kind of moving around that you had to do, and then you'd get to the end of the sequence, and you'd be in a new place. That's how this part works.
It also kind of undercuts the severity of Roth's injury, where it's like, he desperately needs medical attention. Solve this jumping puzzle.
It's like dick around on the roof of these old shanty buildings for an hour. Collecting eagle eggs
That
of all
said,
things.
I mean, the platforming in this game is pretty good. Do I just...
I really liked it.
I'm amazed. Like,
Yeah,
it is
really liked it.
it is comparable to Uncharted, which is not an easy thing to say or do. I'm pretty sure there's something with the airplane. We have to do something with the airplane to move.
But is that after we get the...
No, you have to be on the airplane. Like, there's something about going on top of the airplane to move it, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I know
I
what
beat
it
this
is.
game a long
Okay,
time ago.
I found it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's been a couple months.
Yeah,
Why didn't I see
this
this
makes
before?
me... I never played Uncharted, so I didn't know what I was missing, but now that I've played this and people are saying it's like Uncharted, it makes me wish I could play Uncharted. Because I really like the platforming here.
The platforming is comparable. The combat is, I think, in this game much better. Uncharted goes for more of a pulpy... It's kind of like a really limp Gears of War kind of thing.
Yeah.
This goes for a much more visceral, fast-paced thing.
Like, we haven't even really gotten to it yet. The combat in this game is so smooth. It's really fun to play just as a combat game, which is weird.
It feels just right, and it does feel like Chris said, hyper lethal. I mean, you headshot a dude, especially early in the game, and you headshotted a dude. He drops dead. It's not like, oh, I did big damage and took a real big chunk of his health bar away. 4 or 5 more shots to his face, and he's really gonna feel it. It's like this game is lethal, and I really like it.
I think the wolf
it's a nicely
stole
balanced
Roth's
lethal.
alarm clock. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah. What'd you say, Chris?
Oh, I was just going to say that it's a nicely balanced lethal where, unlike, say, Rainbow Six or something, it's not lethal universally. Lara can take some hits and keep coming, but it never feels ridiculous. You're not a bullet sponge while they're instantly falling over. They're not like limp pawns before your giant machine gun of infinity. Lara is fragile, but they're more fragile, and it's balanced in a way that makes you feel powerful but vulnerable, and it's really tough to do something like that.
So
Yeah,
we just
it
did the
really
entire
does feel
thrust of the Liam Neeson movie The Grey in like 5 minutes, so...
You mean here? Yeah.
we stopped playing The Descent for a minute so we could play The Grey. I hated this. This is the first... I hated this cutscene. This is the first one that gave me trouble, where it was like, I couldn't tell which red prompt.
No, I had problems with the one with the rapist dude last episode.
Oh, that's right. I had trouble with that one too.
You remember the time that we tried that and we lost the recording and I died like 18 times and it was just really awkward.
Oh, it was terrible.
That really happened.
I like that scene there because I think it shows Lara's willingness to survive and kill, and it's one of those rare scenes where that works. Like, a lot of the times in this game, Lara will shoot somebody dead and just be like, sorry, had to do it. And here I think it really works. She was in mortal danger and still killed the crap out of that wolf, and it never felt gratuitous or stupid or over the top. I really like that.
It gave you that it's that moment of panic and struggle. Like, you really feel like the panic that she's feeling. Like, oh crap! And if it wasn't a quick time event, man, or if it was just something that could be intuited from the existing controls and not just flail away at random buttons, I think that would have been just fine.
I do wonder if that's really what wolf dens look like in real life.
I think they probably have less weapons and medicine in them.
Yeah, they probably steal less important medical supplies, but, you know.
Alright, so now we're just gonna bandage his leg. And not do anything for our side, because what the heck. Oh, and she falls asleep sitting up again. Man, she's good at
This is the part of the game where the themes and the gameplay start to actually
Yeah.
like come together a bit better.
Yeah, this is the first scene where you're like with somebody and it feels like you're connected to them and not just like, oh, here's a random person that you already know.
Like you learn to do a thing like that.
I also mentioned this in my video, but I do
Late
think
shift
this
at
is
9 bells.
one of the points where the game gets kind of meta and
Paul's
starts
got nothing
talking
on a
about
broken bottle.
the fact that this is the next in a long legacy of Tomb Raider games.
Nice work.
So I assume the plan is to take that up to the radio tower.
I'm surprised that it references the fact that she didn't learn to apply medicine from Roth himself.
I thought that he was just joking about that.
It could be.
I'm
You
glad
could read
they
it that
didn't
way.
give him. I'm glad they didn't give him too much. Like, I didn't want him to be like the guy who taught her everything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to feel like she had a life outside of him, so that he isn't just the reason she's awesome.
Yeah, I like
One of
that
the
he's
many
not
things.
just like straight the Obi-Wan,
Sure you are.
Yeah.
and his only purpose is to just inform
Just don't know
on
it
how
yet.
she became awesome and then, die. And that's all he ever does.
This is something they're going to
Although-
have to think about going forward, because with this style
Let's
of
have a
game, with this
Mufasa
more
then.
realistic Laura, she does need someone to talk to in the game.
Yeah.
They didn't really set us up with anyone in this game. They didn't give us an ongoing character that's going to be like, oh, this person will be her oracle, her sidekick back at base from now on, the person on the phone that we use for exposition. They didn't give us anyone like. I hope it's not Sam. Spoiler warning: Sam lives to the end of the game, and I hope it's not her. That'd be terrible. It would just be the whole series of games would be about rescuing Sam and picking up artifacts along the way.
I can climb this.
So you're supposed to like attach to the wall and like climb like this. But it's really weird because it's way faster to just do it like this. Dope. Or fall into the waterfall. It's hard to do this while I'm holding down the push to dock key because it's a little weird.
It's okay, you landed in the water, and that means you take no damage.
It's a lot easier to just scramble up by repeatedly magic jumping your way up the side of the thing until you get to the top.
You know, that never
See
occurred to
this
me.
and then I
Never did
fucking
that.
fall again. God, this is gonna be like the best comment thread ever. Josh, you're so dumb. If it's so much easier, then why do you keep falling off? You should stop putting your foot in your mouth.
I never even tried. That never even occurred to me. I actually liked the free climbing look of the stuff that she did. It felt like it gave me a feeling of platforming I haven't had since Prince of Persia, where it's like, wow, I feel like I'm high up, and this is kind of freaking me out in a good way.
The more I think about Roth, the more I think he's kind of like a Race Bannon character. And now I kind of want to see like a Venture Brothers style game where Lara is like 14 with her dad going on some sort of crazy adventure archaeological dig where it's Roth, her dad, and Lara having to deal with whatever crazy adventure they went on.
That'd be a cool.
That
Ooh, we got a tomb. Let's do that. That'd be a cool,
Yeah, we
like,
gotta do the tomb.
like series of
Just to
flashback
show-
sequences in the next game.
Just-
Because the ending of this game sets that up.
We got to do the tombs just to show that yes, there are a couple of tombs. And
Well, they
somebody
also
said,
play
well,
nice. I mean,
yeah, they do. This is the best stuff in the game. Somebody said, well, the whole game is a big tomb because the island's filled with dead people. But I think the point being that the tomb in Tomb Raider we're looking for is platforming puzzles, not necessarily things with dead people in.
I love the sort of dark, quiet cave exploring sequences like this in the game.
Yeah. Sometimes she monologues.
I really
about
feel like
the
they
stuff she's
nailed
finding.
the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really. This is the strongest part of the game by far. This is the stuff
it's
I
so
absolutely
weird
love.
though. It's the strongest part, like visually and atmospherically, but it also really makes no sense because she's raiding a tomb, and then for no reward, or at least like you'll get to the end of this thing and you'll get like shotgun parts or something. That's the big reward.
That is weird. I have no idea why they did that. That is really goofy. You'll open this giant chest, and it'll be like, oh, you got 1 of 3 handgun parts. And it's obviously an ancient chest, and the only thing I can think of is that they didn't know what to put in those things, and late in development they were just like, well, we got to give the player some reward, so we'll just throw in mechanical, gameplay rewards. And I would really, the artifacts that you find around the game, if they had just thrown some of those in these chests, that would have been great. Something that explained. But these are optional. That's the other problem with these, is that they're optional, so they can't contain anything that's too important.
Yeah, it is.
I forgot. I thought this was like the 4th or 5th.
Murder.
Yeah, but they're optional, so this might have been the 4th one that you did. Because you come back later.
No, oh, you know what? That might have been it. Because I was like, oh man, we gotta really get the radio up. I'm not gonna stop for this random tomb.
Yeah.
Okay, what was? Oh, something else that's one of my favorite things in the game that we had happen just a minute ago. When I stopped by that campfire, sometimes, every so often when you stop by a campfire, Lara will like stop and start talking about what's going on. She keeps a journal. You can even open up the journal entry later. I thought that was a really cool touch, giving the protagonist an outlet to talk about what's going on without having to be in any kind of exposition scene.
Yeah.
I need to burn.
You got to get over there, light your torch, and then burn those corpses.
Okay.
Puzzles are actually really good, though. I mean, they are really good puzzles.
They're not so hard that you want to go to game effects, but they're not so easy that it's just like, oh, climb up there and you're done. And it builds on mechanics you've already learned. Like here, this is a culmination. This is very much a Valve thing where it's like, okay, we've taught you 3 different mechanics. Now we're going to combine them in a puzzle, and you can solve it by, remembering the stuff you've learned before. Just really, really good stuff.
Is there something I need to do to...
I think you have to make the other thing heavier somehow. I can't remember how. You have to, put something in there, or...
But there's no objects.
Oh no, I remember.
Do that with.
You have to somehow get to the. Well, no, that's not it.
We're professional game players, you guys.
And we've all solved this puzzle. We just can't remember it.
I've done this puzzle 3 times.
Oh, it stops right there. Alright.
Yeah, you let it go up all the way, and then you jump on it, and then you jump across, maybe.
No.
You don't jump across. Can you get to the blades first, or not the blades, the thing to the left that you can hook into?
Well, then you'd be at the end.
That's right, that's the end. Is there anything you can put in the heavy bucket thingy?
No, we already checked that. There's nothing that's shown up on Survivor Instincts. And, I mean, kick this box over there. No, there's definitely not it.
I swear to God, I've done this.